Hi. So this is probably going to be a long one. Um, this is an update about my son. Um, for those of you who follow me, know that my son is still in a mental health facility. He's been in there about 8 months now. He is not doing well. He just in the last 11 days has flipped over desks, thrown chairs, been extremely aggressive towards staff, to the point that the staff felt so unsafe that they suspended him indefinitely through of his day treatment program. But then they rolled back and decided to let him back in, and of course he's continued to have these same types of behaviors. I call them behaviors, but they all really stem from his delusional state of mind. Um, I decided to do it this way instead of me typing it out because I'm extremely emotional at the moment. And I don't know that I can type this out clearly, but the facility is very much pushing for him to come home. And that is because they really feel he needs a higher level of care than where he's at, but he's been repeatedly denied by, I think we're on 17 different places that have denied him due to his aggressiveness. So they're kind of like, sorry for your luck. He's got to go somewhere. And that means in my home with my other children and us. So I just got off the phone and we did a family therapy session. And Khan was still very much in a delusional state. In his mind, um, I'm creating things that really didn't happen, even though the facility therapist was right there and was like, no, I have documentation. And so through this, even though he's like, no, it didn't happen that way, and he gets so hung up. And the best example I can give you is with him turning on the fire extinguisher and spraying people. He got so hung up that I said that it happened in a room, and he's like, "No, it didn't happen that way. It was outside. See, you don't even know anything." And it got worse as the conversation went on. He gets completely verbally abusive. And I basically stated that I couldn't deal with his verbal abuse. Like, I'm not going to tolerate that. But the point of it is that it got extremely aggressive. It got very verbally abusive. And this therapist is here listening to this the whole time. And they still are pushing for him to come home. And I don't know what to do because these higher facilities won't take him. They won't accept him. He's been in and out of facilities for years. I've not had great experiences with any of them, in all honesty. And I'm scared. And to have to admit that you're scared to have your kid come home is hard. It's hard to admit that. But I worry for my other children. I'm already seeing signs from Waylon, my youngest, of just trauma and anxiety. And I feel like it's all my fault because I've allowed it to go this long. But I've also tried really hard to fight for my son. The system has continuously failed me. I've filed grievances. I've spoke to numerous lawyers. I've talked to congressmen, and nobody knows how to help me. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows who to get me into contact with. Everybody admits that it's a crappy situation. They all admit that it's dangerous. But nobody gives me any answers. And I'm kind of at a loss at this point, with what to do. He doesn't understand. He can't process it. Cognitively, his brain just doesn't process the information the same way that you or I do. And he just he keeps expressing how he wants to come home. He wants to come home. He wants to come home. But I really think it's that he just doesn't want to be there anymore. But this facility is kind of forcing me to bring him home. I'm supposed to meet with this lady from ACT, and it's kind of like FCT, which is family centered therapy, which we've had numerous times. We've had intensive in home. I'm Love and Logic certified. I've had all of this training, and nothing works. Nothing works. I don't know. I just needed to vent, and just kind of update everybody. I still don't know exactly. They've given me an exit date for when, he has to leave. Even though that it's dangerous for him to come home, they want to move him. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. I couldn't type this out. I almost feel like I've given up. And that's a really crappy feeling, because I know I haven't. I'm just at a loss, and I'm frustrated, and I have nowhere to turn. I feel like I have exhausted anything that anybody has ever been like, have you tried this? Have you talked to this person? Have you, got a lawyer? Have you talked to a news station? Have you, I've talked to them all, and they're either not interested in my story, or they don't know where to turn me. I even had the lawyer, actually a couple of them that I've spoke to, sadly told me that I don't have a case. I don't have a case. So we'll see what happens. He's probably coming home. My only other option would be to abandon him there and refuse to go get him. But I've read stories where parents have done that, and they end up having to go to court. One guy that I read about, he had to pay a huge fine. He had to go to court. He had to pay child support. He had to pay for private insurance. All just to try to get his kid the help that his kid needed. My son is sick. My son is not a problem child. He is not a punk teenager. My kid is sick. There's a difference. And I'm sorry if this bummed you out. I'm usually a lot more chipper and happy, and try to spread love and energy, but I've been dealing with this for a long time, and it gets to be too much sometimes. So if you pray, or if you believe in energies or the moon or zodiac sign, whatever you believe in, if you could send us some good energy and think about us and hope that something gives, that we find something, because I've exhausted everything and I don't know where to turn. But I love you, love yourselves, and love each other. And I'm sorry that this is a sad, emotional video. I'm going to hang in there. If anybody has any other advice, I'm listening. Let me know. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.